Hello, and welcome to another edition of Real Estate Ready. I'm your host, Jerrod Pickering, coming at you today from North Texas. I'm a real estate agent up here, ready to serve you. In this week's episode, we have another special guest. We have some escrow officers from Affinity Co, which is a title company that's local to the DFW area, here to explain some of the roles that title plays in a real estate transaction. So if you're a buyer or a seller, you do know about the role of an agent. You know that sometimes there's going to be a lender involved. But beyond showing up at a title office for closing, a lot of my clients anyway don't know what title is or what it does. And so I invited a few folks to come and explain some things to us to clear these mysteries up. So I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Luene, and I work for Affinity Co.
I'm Amanda, and I also work for Affinity Co. as an escrow assistant.
And I'm an escrow officer, and so you might wonder, what does a title company do? We work with all parties of the transaction. We are a neutral party. We work with buyer, seller, lender, agents. So the title company holds all the funds. We receive escrow funds. We receive funds from the lender. We do hold all funds and disperse once the transaction's closed. Title company does a lien search, looks for any defects on the property, who's in title, tax liens, judgments, bankruptcies, divorces, any of that kind of stuff. And
when that search is complete, we provide to all parties, lender, buyer, seller, agents, all of that, the search in the form of a title commitment. And that's going to show all the chain of title and all of the things on that specific property and the specific buyers and sellers as well. We also schedule closings with the buyer and the seller, and we facilitate the signing of all the documents for lender as well as the title company. And then once all of that is complete, we provide the title insurance policy.
So the title insurance policy is going to cover the lender or the buyer from any defects on the property. It's going to provide a clear and insurable title to the buyer.
There is a premium cost for title insurance, and that is regulated by the state. It is the same across all title companies in the state of Texas. And the owner's title policy is figured on the sales price of the home, where the lender's title policy is figured on the loan amount. The purchase of your home is one of the most expensive transactions that you are ever going to have in your lifetime. And so title insurance is really just a smart decision to have. We would not advise anyone to purchase a home without title insurance to ensure that they're getting clean title to their home that they could be living in forever.
Or when you get ready to sell that home, you want to make sure that you don't have any hiccups along the way. Anything prior to the purchase is going to be covered by your title insurance policy.
Some things that are helpful for a title company in a transaction for the real estate agents to provide and or the buyers and the seller is contact information for everybody on the transaction. So lender contact information, all agents, buyers and sellers. Also an existing survey, if there is one available. If you do an existing survey, we do have to have what they call a T-47, and that's an affidavit of on the real property. And then also to make us aware of anything that you know about the file. If there was a past divorce, or if there's a deceased family member, or anything that you might think might be a little bit odd about the transaction, just be upfront with us, because we're going to find it in our search. And then we're going to have questions, and we don't want any delays in your transaction.
All that information will just help us get our transaction done a lot quicker and smoother.
You want to take this one?
Well, okay. The escrow fee, the fee for doing the closing, that's per title company, so that's a fee that can vary. Recording fees will also be just whatever it costs to record the documents. So there's not really going to be a lot of fees that are going to vary. The main one is going to be the escrow fee.
Yes. So the main fee that's set by the state is for the actual title insurance. And then the other fees with the title company specifically can vary just a little bit. So typically that is negotiated between agents and buyer and seller during the contract negotiation. Really, it's up to the transaction, the buyer and the seller. Typically, we see whoever is paying for the title insurance gets to choose. But that it is a choice that anybody in the transaction gets to take. Well, I think probably the number one thing would be, open lines of communication, and making sure that you are being kept up to date in the transaction, and you know where the title company is and the lender is, and a good title company will be effective with their communications and make sure everybody is up to date through the process of the transaction.
Well, we love to work with people, and we want to make sure all their needs are met and that they would want to recommend us or come back to us. One of the main things is we offer mobile notaries. So if the transaction allows and they don't want to or cannot come to our office, we can send a mobile notary to them.
Yes, very true. We like to make it as convenient for all parties of the transaction as possible. So we work with your schedule, and like Luene said, if need be, provide a notary that can come to you instead of you having to come to our office location. And we do have that open line of communication. You can call us, you can email us. We have the different forms of communication so that if you have a question, you can get a hold of us, and if we don't know the answer, we'll find it out for you as quickly as possible.
I want to thank Luene and AJ from Affinity Co for helping me out today. I hope this cleared a lot of things up for you. I've put their contact information at the end of this video, and also down there in the description. If you want more information from them, or would like to ask them some more questions, they'd be happy to talk with you. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.